Faces in the window.
I live in an apartment complex on the third floor. I have an okay view from my bedroom window. I love to sleep with the window curtains open, watching the moon as I fall asleep. I've always went to sleep like this since I was little. I cannot fall asleep if I can't see the night skies. It's 6:30 a.m. now, and I'm getting ready for work. I'm no big shot. I have a simple job that requires no degree or study. My hobby is just to karaoke in my living room at night before going to sleep. As far as a social life, I don't really like people and I don't have any friends. I do have a cousin named William who comes to visit me from time to time. We've had good times and tons of laughs. He said he'll be visiting me this weekend, and I can't wait to hang out with him. We usually go to the theater, watch movies and sneak from one movie to another. Get to watch multiple movies with just one ticket entry. Our family always thought that William and I were the odd ones in the family. When I'm at work, I just try to blend in. I do what I have to do quickly and make my way back home. Once my shift is over, I don't do anything extra. It's not that I'm lazy. I just don't like my job or the people there. I worked there because no other place was hiring at the time, especially someone like me. And I say that because most places like to hire people who are friendly and cheerful, but most people just don't get me, which has caused me to live the life I live, alone. Most of the time, I like to pretend I'm the only one in the world. The weekend is finally here, and my cousin William showed up. I'm happy as I already planned to watch movies this weekend with him, but he seems a little different and stares off out of my bedroom window quite often. I ask him if he's okay, and he assures me that he is. We went to the theater, and after that, we went to go eat breakfast dinner. But throughout the whole time, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong with him. He was lost in thought. Something was bothering him. I let him know that I'm always here for him, and if he wanted to talk about anything, I would listen. He nodded. That lets me know something was bothering him. It just wasn't the right place to talk about it. I called the waiter to ask for the bill and quickly pay it. We start to walk home, and it was already getting late. The streets aren't any safe at night, especially in this city. After arriving home, William's behavior got worse. I asked him again if there was anything he wanted to talk to me about, to which he finally opens up.
There is something bothering me. I haven't told anyone. I don't want people to think I've gone crazy.
You know me. I would never judge you like that.
I can't sleep by the window. I'll wake up in the middle of the night to faces staring at me through it. And even though your apartment's on the third floor, I've seen these faces staring at me when I was in the hospital. And if you remember, I was on the 8th floor then.
If you've seen this since then, why didn't you tell me? Instead of acting different.
When I first saw this at the hospital, I thought it was because I was medicated. And it escalated and I see it every night now. Even if you try to close the curtains, I'll wake up the next day and they'll be wide open again.
You can sleep in my room. We'll make a pallet for you next to my bed where you won't be able to see the window. I'll even close the curtains for you.
Thanks.
I tried to get his mind off it. Played video games and I even did some karaoke with him there. It seemed like it worked, and I was hoping he'd be fine. But as we started to get tired, it was time to go to sleep. I can see him dreading it. He kept trying to keep his head up. I even offered him some sleeping pills, but he wouldn't take them. I walked towards the window and closed the curtains, hopped in my bed and tried to get some sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night, past 2 o'clock, and I can hear William crying, softly whispering something, telling it to shut up. I look at the window, and the curtains were pulled. Not open, but completely pulled from the window, as if he had yanked them off. I got up to put the curtains back, and now William knew I was awake. William asked me,
Do you see it? It's at the window. Do you see it?
"No, I'm sorry, I don't see anything." He balls up again in his pallet and continues crying. No matter how much I stared out the window, I just couldn't see anything. So I put the curtains back, then headed back to bed. The morning sun shines in, and it wakes me up. I notice that the curtains once again were pulled down. I look for William and I find him underneath my bed. I start to realize at this point that his problem is more serious than I thought. I let him sleep in, as I figure he didn't sleep much that night. I was cooking breakfast when suddenly he comes out of the bedroom and looks worried.
Thank you for having me over, but I have to go.
"You don't want to eat breakfast before you leave?" Without saying anything else, William leaves. The weekend ends. It's Monday again, and I get ready for work. Back to the same boring schedule. And on top of all, I haven't even heard from William either. It's now Tuesday, and I finally hear from William. He's been hospitalized due to a heart stroke, and is also being evaluated, as he told doctors about his night terrors. Several days have passed now, and I receive a call from the hospital. It wasn't William. It was a doctor. Told me William had passed away, and that William only added me to his emergency list. The doctor sounds scared, and he wants to share a horrible detail about William's face. But I was disturbed enough just by knowing that he had passed away, and I quickly hang up the phone. Why would I want to know what William's face looked like? Now I'm without my cousin who I used to enjoy hanging out on the weekends. I wonder how bad was his mental issue. It's night now, and I get ready for bed. The moon is so beautiful I get lost in its glow until I fall asleep. I wake up due to a tapping on the window. My first reaction is to look at the time. It's 2:45 a.m. I turn to look at the window and I'm quickly frightened. There's William's face on my window, but it's not just his face. Also, Aunt Amy, Aunt Emma, Uncle Oliver, Ethan, my great-grandfather, and my grandmother's face too. Their faces look like it had been cut off their dead bodies, painfully stretched and stitched together. It all looks like a huge collage of faces. I ask myself if this is what William was seeing. Now I can hear their voices, including William. They're inviting me to step outside, as if I could move. I'm paralyzed. Their voices get closer and closer to my ears, as if that thing was laying next to me, whispering in my ear. But it's still at the window. How I wish I could move and close the curtains. It's morning again, and it all felt like a dream, a very vivid dream. I promised myself not to sleep with the curtains open again. I'd rather put a video of the moon on my television and go to sleep with it. I quickly get ready for work and head out. I get in my car and look at my bedroom window from the parking lot. There's no way for anything to get up that high. Work sucks as usual. Then after my shift is over, I try to linger around work as much as possible, as if that's going to stop the night. Stupid me. The sun is beginning to set, and I quickly get in my car and start making my way home. I finally make it back to the apartment. I'm still in my car, and for some reason I look into my rearview mirror, and there's that collage of faces again. All their faces contorted and looking painful. Once again, I'm paralyzed by his appearance. My heartbeat starts to race, faster than ever. As this thing starts to make its way to my driver windows, I can hear it whispering in my ear. Now this thing is only 2 feet away from my face. tries to open my car door, but my doors are still locked. My heart can't take it anymore, and I faint. I wake up and find myself in a hospital bed. Apparently, I had a heart stroke. The doctor is asking me if I take any medications or even self-medicate. After answering his questions, he lets me know that I will be in the hospital for at least one more day before I can go back home. That way, they can try and see what caused my heart stroke. I'm watching television, and it's starting to get dark outside again, so I called the nurse and asked her to close my curtains. I was not going to see that thing again. Nurse came in and closed the window curtains, and I feel a bit safer now. I continued watching television until I fell asleep. I woke up again in the middle of the night to the tapping on the window. I know it's that thing, but I can't move. I'm paralyzed once again. All I can move is my eyes. So I look towards the window and there it is. It starts to whisper. This time it's not telling me to come outside. It's telling me to stay put and that it will make its way to me. The thing forces a smile on all the faces and it disappears from my window. I can still hear its whispers fading away. After a minute or so, I can hear them again coming down the hallway. I guess it found its way into the hospital. With all my strength, I try to reach the button to get a nurse, but it's all in vain. I can't even move a centimeter. The door to the room I'm in is open. Now the whispers are in the hallway that leads straight to my room. It's unstoppable. I have nothing left in me. As I panic within me, I can feel my heart beating at its max, in a way I've never felt it before. I remember being a teenager, and my mom telling about how Uncle Oliver had a heart stroke, and that heart problems ran in the family. Now I know what really happened. The thing is turning into my room. It's at the side of my bed now. All the faces look horrified, but that thing forces them to smile. It starts cutting my face off with a long and sharp claw. The pain was excruciating. It's done making the incision around my face, and it's now pulling on my skin. As my face comes off, he stitches it next to William's. I can see the thing wearing my face now. I look horrified, and once again he forces all the faces to smile, including the one that used to be mine. This story was written by me. If you like my stories and wish to hear more, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for listening.